Hey, good morning, Orlando. This is a demo for your Sifo spare parts from Shadow Foil Props. I got this done this morning. This is a very unique saber and it has some moving parts. All right, so you may want to just watch this all the way through. This is a one button setup and your one button is right here and it's on a magnet. So you can pull this right off, and you do need to pull it off in order to get to your chassis and your battery. All right, and you can see the magnet here. A little bit of it zoomed in right there, and then also if you look closely in that hole, you can see the magnet that's on your chassis, and you'll need to be able to line that up. All right, your pommel right here has to come off to get to your chassis, but you can see that these four fins are in the way. So if you sat here and you tried to go between these fins and unscrew this guy, it would take all day. I made this simple tool. Well, it looks like that. It just has a Smuggler's Outpost emblem on it. It's a little handle here. It's a cup, basically. So what it does is it just goes right over the pommel, just like that. And then you can use it to unscrew this all the way. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll do that real quick. We'll take it off. Don't want to drop it, though. This is a lot easier to do when you're not trying to film it. But eventually that'll come off. So that's your pommel. This is the tool. It just kind of goes right on there, and it helps you put it on the saber, and then also helps you take it off. All right, we'll put that off to the side. Your Covertech is your chassis retention. So what you'll want to do is just unscrew that just a little bit. All right, you'll feel it loose. It's good to go. You can see your speaker in there, and your chassis will just fall right out into your hand. All right, and this is what you've got. So your single button setup here, you can see your tactile switch has that magnet on it. So of course, basically when this is in the saber and these two line up, that's your switch on the outside, and that's how you get your actuation. All right, so we'll take that off. You've got a Carl Chan PCB in here for your Neopixel connector. You've got your Proffie board right here, so you can get to your SD card and your micro USB from right here and never move the board. I use a pair of tweezers to take the SD card out, and then I use a 90-degree data cable to make changes to the board. I've got that right here. So this just fits in there, and it's enough room in there to plug it into the board and not move it. Okay, so that's what you've got there. This has a removable battery, but this holds a 21700 battery, so it's a big boy. And I'll send this with your saber. So 21700. Not an 18650. If you try to use just a regular battery, it won't fit, and I'll show you the difference. This is what you would normally see inside of a saber, an 18650, and this is your 21700. So you know, it's a little bit longer in length, as you can hopefully see there, wider in diameter, so these 18650s will not fit. All right. Well, we just take our chassis, spring size your negative right here by your board. We'll throw our battery in. Goes right in just like that. Now there's nothing to clock the chassis inside the saber. You have to make sure that you line up your switch with your magnet right here. You have to line that up with your switch hole, which is right here. All right, so once you do that a few times, it'll be pretty easy. The first couple times, it may take you a few times to do it. All right. When you get it all lined up in there, you'll see your magnet right there. Right? You'll see that silver magnet sticking out. You can come over here on your Covertech and you can screw it down. Lock it down. Now the chassis won't come out, you know, no matter what you do. It's locked in there. So we're going to need to come back through and put our pommel on. We'll just use our tool again. Get it started, and it's very easy to use. Okay, once you get it started, take you a few turns. And it's nice on there, it's not coming off. All right, lastly, we'll take our switch and put it in the hole. It'll make connection with that magnet, and you're good to go. Your LEDs are in there firing up. Blaster bolts is just tapping the button. If you want blade lock up, you can just double tap. And you get that blade lock up. And then I gave you twist off. All right, we'll go ahead and we'll throw a blade in here. This takes a 1-inch diameter blade. You do have a blade retention right here, but the blade fits in there pretty snug, so I'm not going to use it. You can see that right there. Your kit also comes with an Allen key for that blade retention, so you're all set there. But it's holding it pretty tough. A good flash on flash. Blaster bolts. Blade lock up. Twist off. We'll play the soundtrack as a double tap on the power when the saber's off. That's another double tap to turn it off, right? Just like that. So again. And then that's your sound font that's on here. And then the rest of them is a stock font package. So to get to those, you just want to do a long press on the power when the saber's off.
Team C.
This is the stock font package. We'll go through a few of these.
Smooth gray.
Fireblade. Do another one.
Smooth fuzz.
This is a good one. A solid red blade's a good one to see your blaster bolt deflex. You can see it flashing on the blade. And then blade lockup is a good one to see on here as well. Just like that. All right, and then when we're done, we will take the blade out. I did screw in the emitter because the emitter comes out. You could take this piece out if you want and then put your blade plug in, which is basically just a dummy emitter. So, but I'm just going to leave this one on. When you're putting in your blade, kind of twist it to the right, like righty-tighty, and then when you're taking it out, twist it to the right as well. Otherwise, you know, this will come loose and off. It's not a big deal. It's easy to put back on, but just to avoid that, that's how you do. So again, let's come over here and take the pommel out when we're done. We can come over here and take our switch off, and then we can loosen our Covertech, which is our chassis retention, right? And then it'll slide out in your hand just like that. And then from the positive side of the battery, which is over here by your speaker, you shouldn't have any problems taking it out with your finger. All right. So that is basically your Sifo DS spare parts. Let me know if you got any questions, and if not, I will try to get this out in the mail today. Thanks.